In late 2016, several organizations and government agencies came together to plant a rain garden at Lakeside Park in Menomin, Wisconsin. This effort was designed to catch runoff from a large parking lot and have it infiltrate into the ground and foster plant growth rather than running directly into neighboring Lake Menomin, taking all the pollutants from the parking lot with it. Well, we're here at beautiful Lake Menomin on a beautiful October morning. The leaves are changing and starting to fall a little bit. There's a little bit of a chill in the air, but it's going to be a beautiful day. And we're here planting a rain garden next to the parking lot in Lakeside Park. You can see the rain garden behind me here. What is a rain garden? A rain garden is an area of plants, usually native plants, that is designed to catch the runoff coming from an area. It can be coming from a rooftop, it can be coming from a parking lot. In this case, the large parking lot here at Lakeside Park. All the water from that parking lot is flowing over here, and we're going to intercept it with this rain garden. Native plants used in rain gardens serve multiple purposes. Their deep root systems can go down 10, even 20 feet deep. These dense root systems take up and use most of the water draining to the garden. Plants and soil can also filter some pollutants from the water as it soaks into the ground. Additionally, the plants provide excellent habitat for animals and pollinators such as hummingbirds, bees, and butterflies.
Last year, Gage McLean was a president of the Blue Devil Lake Association, kind of helped foster the idea of putting a rain garden here at Lakeside Park. He wanted to come up with something to both help improve the situation water quality-wise, and in the future the public or the students could use as an educational piece. He helped plan the construction of this, and he graduated, and now I'm helping see it through. The construction and the planning now is done.
I initially got involved in this project back in March of 2016 when I was approached by the Menomin Lake Improvement Association and a student who was a member of the Blue Devil Lake Alliance at uw-stout. The student had an idea for a rain garden here at Lake Menomin Lakeside Park, and the purpose of this garden would be twofold. One, for an educational opportunity for the public who uses the park to learn a little bit about how we can improve water quality, and also as a functional rain garden to catch the water running off from mostly the parking lot of the park. So pretty much the entire parking lot is an impervious surface. Impervious meaning that it doesn't, no water can infiltrate through the surface, and it all runs off. Previous to this rain garden, all of that runoff went right down into the lake via the boat landing. And now with this rain garden, we're able to capture that water, especially the first flush when the first rainfall comes, which is when we have the highest concentration of chemicals in that runoff from things like car fluids, oil, sediments that are on the parking lot, those sorts of pollutants. So the rain garden can capture those pollutants and filter them out, and then the water is absorbed through the rain garden, returning to groundwater and also Lake Menomin.
We had a design done by Cedar Corp. They helped personally. Greg Adams and Cedar Corp came together and did a real quick design on this project, along with the street department, sort of working together to design this as they went. We had planned to do a trench drain cutting across the boat ramp, but when the operators got here, they said, you know, if we do a little hump, divert the water, it'll be something we can maintain through the winter, and it won't be a trough that's going to fill with junk and just plug up. So we have a hump, for lack of better words, that's going to divert the rainwater off the ramp into the rain garden. So again, another team effort between the design and the operators putting in the rain garden. So hats off to Cedar Corp and the street department for doing a great job in putting this thing together.
We all play a part in the recovery of our waters. As you look around the country, as you look around Wisconsin, each lake has unique features. It's important that each community look on a local level to the organizations, lake associations, in terms of protecting our water resources, both surface water and groundwater as well. They're all interconnected. It's important that each of us make a commitment, whether we are lakeshore owners, whether we are living in a more urban area, or whether we're in the agricultural communities. We all play a part in this process. We will see change, and we are seeing change. We see this project as an important educational project as well. It's in a location where boaters, visitors, and in the community can come down and take a look at the types of plants that are here, how this rain garden works, and we are going to be working with uw-stout to develop some educational strategies and materials and on this project.
So in the future, any number of the different environmental classes here at Stout, whether it be wetland ecology, general ecology, aquatic ecology, can come here and use this rain garden as an example of water quality in an urban setting, what it was like before and what it's like now and how it's improved the situation, learning about water infiltration, lowering runoff, learning about the water table, all sorts of things that you can relate to a classroom setting. You'd be able to gain some knowledge just by sitting here and looking at the different parts of what's been constructed here.
Part of the process included selecting plants that would be ideal for this location. So we looked at the soil types here and worked with a local nursery who gave us a generous discount as well to select plants that would thrive in this type of an environment, both along the side slopes of the rain garden as well as plants that like a wetter environment on the bottom of the rain garden. So it's important when you're designing a rain garden to select plants that are going to do well in that environment. They're all native species, so they should do well without a lot of help as they mature and fill in the garden. The Student Association going forward will take care of maintaining the rain garden, so it'll be a volunteer effort to keep it cleaned out as it fills in with excess sediment and maybe do some weeding as necessary to remove any unwanted or undesirable plant species.
So the rain garden, just getting it done is only half the deal. The other half is maintaining it. It's going to require maintenance like mowing or cutting, trimming of the shrubs so they don't overpower each other or outgrow each other. And the Blue Devil Lake Association here at Stout is going to be undertaking that.
It's one big watershed. It's not about what the city's doing, it's about what we're all doing in the watershed, all the way up north, down here to the end at Lake Menomin at City of Menominee. We're all working together, and I think this project shows how people working together, groups working together, can get something done.
Efforts in the entire 1,900 square mile Red Cedar River watershed are all contributing to reducing phosphorus runoff to the rivers and lakes that are in this watershed. Everyone can do their part. If you want an idea of where the runoff goes in your own yard, put on a raincoat and go outside while it's raining. Watch where the runoff goes and how it moves. Is it moving through an area rapidly toward a storm drain? Could you possibly install a rain garden to slow that water down and let it infiltrate into the ground?
Every small project has an impact on water quality, so everybody from somebody with a quarter-acre lot in an urban environment to many, many acres out in the country can do something at home to improve water quality. Urban residents can visit raintorivers.org and look up information on what they can do at their home urban lot to improve water quality. These are going to be things like reducing runoff, helping infiltration by planting some native species or putting in your own rain garden. And then rural landowners should contact their Land and Water Conservation Division for their county, and technicians there would be happy to come out and take a look at their property and make recommendations to improve water infiltration, reduce runoff, and if you have any erosion problems, they can help with that as well. So every landowner, there's something that they can do, whether it's big or small, and really it all adds up. There's tiny pieces in this very large puzzle of water quality in the Red Cedar watershed that everybody can help with just by doing something small at their own home.
In addition to the rain garden, some invasive species along the shoreline were targeted to be removed as part of this project. Invasive species along a shoreline often outcompete native species and provide less natural habitat.
I came here a week ago. We did an inventory and we found black locust, common buckthorn, bush honeysuckles, oriental bittersweet, and one small Japanese barberry. When these plants go in, they completely shade everything out. They don't allow any other ground cover to establish. Their leaves drop, the earthworms eat the leaves. All you're left with is bare soil, so it's prone to erosion, and that's going to erode into the lake. We don't want any more than we have to get in there. So we were using multiple different techniques. We had heavy-duty loppers, which we use the ones for like an inch and smaller. We'd use those to cut those off, and then we'd use long pole saws, and we had some curved saws that we could go out and reach out further, cut the tree off at about 3 inches from the ground, and then later on we'd come through with multiple different techniques. We had a backpack sprayer, and we had a dauber, what we call a kill stick or a dauber, where it had a chemical inside. It comes through a piece of applicator cloth. It soaks that, and then it drizzles down along the cut surface and runs along the side a little bit. So it does if it's a very small amount, just a quarter ounce per or so per tree, it would run down and it would kill the plant. Because if left unmanaged, we have issues where we have completely invasives. We have no natural regeneration of our shrubs and our trees, and we'll have nothing in the future.
Multiple partners came together to make this rain garden project happen, including the Menomin Lake Improvement Association, Dunn County, University of Wisconsin-Stout, and the City of Menomin. Find out what you can do on your property to help infiltrate rainfall into the ground rather than convey it directly to lakes and rivers. Visit raintorivers.org for more information.